Hi friends, I'm John McLaughlin, the current chair of the Iowa Firearms Coalition, and today we're going to take all the mystery out of buying trauma gear for you, and we have partnered with the company Mountain Man Medical. These are some squared away dudes, friends of mine for several years, to bring you two different trauma kits. One we're calling the Defender, which is an ankle-based kit, and one we're calling the Responder, which is a larger trauma kit with more gear. So we're going to break these down for you today. And first of all, let's start with this. I have carried Trauma Medical on my ankle every day since February of 2018. I have actually got so comfortable with having medical gear on my ankle, I've waded through creeks and streams and forgot about it and had to replace some of the soft goods because they got wet. But this literally cannot just be comforting, but comfortable to wear. So we've constructed these kits in coordination with Mountain Man Medical. We got input from my son, Nathan, who's a trauma nurse, and various other squared away folks across the country to give you the absolute best equipment. So let's start with a made in the USA ankle carrier. Nothing you see here is Chinese made. This is made in the USA, high quality stuff. And it has all the essential gear in here to stop traumatic bleeding. So everything you see in our trauma kits is based on the March algorithm. We'll talk more about that as we get into training and such. But number one, we're going to stop massive hemorrhaging, massive bleeding. So to do that, we have to have a tourniquet. So in the ankle kit, we got the smallest flat pack tourniquet you possibly can. This is called the Soft T Wide, and it is a TCCC recommended tourniquet, high quality, a metal windlass. The biggest thing is very compact, so it fits nicely in that ankle kit. Now, to see the traumatic bleeding, we need to get a pair of shears to cut away clothing. So even this small shears, and we picked this because it'll go through TSA with no problem and fit nicely in that ankle kit. We need to cut away clothing. It might be cutting through shoes, a belt, heavy-duty jeans, a Carhartt jacket, and even these little ones will do that to get to the point of where the bleeding is. Now, we've also included in this kit hemostatic gauze. So this is extremely important that we pack that gauze very tight down into the wound channel, stopping the bleeding by holding intense pressure, and that hemostatic gauze will help get that blood clotting up, and we're going to hold pressure on that until it stops. So that is included even in this ankle kit. This is expensive stuff, but it is life-saving, truly life-saving. Now, in the case of chest wounds, we have two hyphen chest seals, the compact version. So you can cut this in half. You can use it for multiple wounds, use it for an entry and exit wound. The biggest thing is we want to seal off that thoracic cavity in case we have a sucking chest wound, so we prevent a tension pneumothorax. And again, as we get into training videos and links to Mountain Man Medical, we're going to give you some really good ideas on how to appropriately use this gear. My son and I have been teaching trauma medical the last couple of years. We've learned a lot through that, but a lot of great resources by actual combat medics will be bringing along here at Iowa Firearms Coalition to help get you folks squared away. But you want to have good, high-quality chest seals. Now, before we even get into that, I should have shown you right there, I've got the gloves, got two pairs of nitrile gloves. If you have a fancy Raptor Leatherman, that fits right in that spot too, so great spot for that. And I just love flat pack duct tape because there's so many uses. We can improvise chest seals out of this. We can actually use it for a pressure dressing. We can use it to keep pressure on that hemostatic gauze, boo-boos, use it as a little bit of a Band-Aid. And these ankle kits have enough room that we can actually use some of the extra space in here for your own boo-boo kit for Band-Aids and things like that. So that is our Defender kit. It's made for the ankle, but it's compact enough. You can stick it into a cup holder. I've seen folks mount this on the bar of their bicycle, on their four-wheelers, UTVs, lots of uses. But the number one thing, it has to be handy. If you watch police videos on active self-protection and some of the other channels, and there's a traumatic bleeding from a shooting, stabbing, car accident, you always hear them say, somebody run for the trauma kit. And then the police officers digging through the back of their vehicle trying to find it. In many cases, you simply don't have that time. It may be yourself you have to stop that traumatic bleeding on, or a loved one or a friend. You want it with you. That's why I'm such a big proponent of the ankle kit, because it is with me literally 3 feet away anytime, day or night, that I need it. Now let's get into our bigger kit. Now we're going to show you our responder bag. Again, this is a made in the USA bag by Wilderness Tactical, and it is very heavy duty. It's got a nice solid strap on the top, so you can hang that from a like the headrest on a car with a carabiner. It has a big Velcro band, so it can be put on a belt. Just a lot of different mounting options. But you'll notice right there, we've got a tourniquet right on the bottom. So if you're using this on the range, it's on the back of your belt. Folks can instantly say, hey, there's a tourniquet, here's a medical bag, and they know it's instantly available. And I notice that tourniquet, we've got this appropriately staged, so the timestamp is not over top of the windlass, so it is ready to go. Folks can literally grab that, rip it off, put it into service. So let's talk about this bag a little bit. The reason we chose this bag is that it doesn't have any zipper. So it is totally Velcro. So you rip it open and everything is instantly available to get to work. So the first thing you'll notice is we have a second tourniquet in here. So you have the one mounted on the outside, and we have a second one inside. Again, already pre-deployed, ready to go. These will come in plastic, and you want to make sure you take the tourniquets out of plastic because you don't want to be trying to get into those with blood on your hands, and can be a mess. So second tourniquet, full-size trauma shears. Again, you got to have the trauma shears to get to where the wound is to properly place the tourniquet. So we have lots of gauze in this particular kit. So this is just compressed gauze. Notice it's got the blue line in there. And the reason for that is when the doctors do an x-ray, they will see that you've stuffed your patient full of gauze to stop the traumatic bleeding. That is for junctional areas, the shoulders, the groins. Also, our hemostatic gauze is included. We have a large pressure dressing that's included in this kit. Yes, it is stuffed full. 2 pairs of nitrile gloves already placed there for you. Again, a pair of hyphen chest seals for sealing the box, that thoracic cavity, keeping tension pneumothorax at bay until they can get to surgery for gunshot wounds, stab wounds, penetrating chest wounds. More flat pack duct tape, which you can improvise a lot of different solutions with that. And one thing we have room for here in the responder bag that we didn't in the ankle kit, I put in 2 Mylar blankets, because if somebody has lost a lot of blood, they're going to get into hypothermia. So even in the South where it's very warm, folks don't really think about it, but you want to get your patient covered up if there's blood loss, because that is life. And as soon as we cool the core down, mortality definitely goes up. So 2 emergency blankets included in there. So all in a made in the USA bag. Enough room in there, you can add some Band-Aids and boo-boo stuff, some Neosporin or something like that. But the main trauma gear, already totally vetted. The good stuff's in here. It's approved by TCCC, and it's ready to go for you thanks to this new partnership between Iowa Firearms Coalition and Mountain Man Medical. So stay tuned to IFC as we continue to bring you additional training links on how to use this gear. But right now, pick the kit you want. Pick a kit for a friend, send one to your family members, and help get folks geared up, not just in self-defense, but in emergency medical response.